What's going on, everybody? It's your man, the Fitness Soldier here. This video right here, I want to discuss some things. First, I want to introduce myself formally on who exactly the Fitness Soldier is and why I do what I do. Those of you who know me or probably don't know me, you guys probably see me doing a lot of videos, body weight, circuit training, boot camp style calisthenics. So I want to just discuss where that stuff come from and a little bit about my background. I don't want to be real long-winded on this one right here, but I want to formally introduce myself to every last one of you guys. Okay, so my name is Torrey Walton. I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised, grew up in Decatur, where it's greater, and I've always been a inquisitive youngster, as they call them. Back during those times, I was into a lot of outdoor stuff. I come from the 80s and 90s, playing cowboys and Indians, cap gun fights, having the walkie-talkies, playing soldier, climbing trees, walking dogs, playing with dogs. I had a German Shepherd, you name it, I did it. Went on these wild escapades like we was in the jungle, especially growing up in Georgia, being down in those creeks. We had, we were more inland, so we didn't have ocean sides or beaches. We had a lot of creeks, and me, my brother, my friends, and all of us, we grew up doing a lot of stuff, catching crawfish, catfish with our hands, turtles, you name it. So that's where the outdoorsman aspect of who I am comes from. Now, since I was about 9 years old, I was into art. I always drew. I started drawing the Simpsons and Ninja Turtles back during those times when those cartoons started to formulate themselves into the mainstream. I was fascinated and inspired by that, and I was quite good at it. I've been drawing since I was 9 years old, continued on throughout high school. I thought I was going to go to college for art. Instead, it made sense during that time frame that since I didn't have an academic scholarship or a sports scholarship, although I played baseball in high school, I was in Boy Scouts, so I played football, basketball, you name it. I didn't have a scholarship or anything. My parents felt that the military would be the best thing to provide that structure, that discipline. And the recruiter, the recruiter revealed to me that if I had a hobby in the art, the military would pay for it. So at that time, I decided to jump on board. It was, it was something that I was inspired to do. Now this was pre 9/11. 9/11 hadn't happened yet, so I enlisted in the Army, and I must say I had a great career. Learned a lot, met a lot of outstanding people. So I remember my first duty assignment, I was stationed up in Virginia Beach actually, at Fort Story. My specialty in the Army was petroleum. I was a petroleum guy, that deals with a lot of logistics, support in terms of distribution, large amounts of distribution of petroleum, testing petroleum, everything dealing with fuel, petroleum, I did it. Now there was other things that I ended up doing over the years outside of that, but that was my trade basically for the Army. And at this particular time, I was in Virginia. Now, I was still a teenager at this time. I was around a lot of guys in the gym, buff guys, big swole guys that was kind of like mentors, and I was inspired by that look. I wanted to look like how they look. So I was taken under their wing by some of the other guys, and I was going to the gym. We was around a lot of the Navy back then at the time in Virginia, being around all that water. So I was going to Little Creek, Dam Neck, Oceana, all those naval bases, and we was using their gyms. And I must say I got swole. So I started out powerlifting, dirty bulking. Back then it was the guys give me the advice for dirty bulking. So I did everything from dirty bulking. I was doing 3 a days, because in the Army, in the regular Army, we would do PT in the morning. For lunch, I would pack a gym bag, go to the gym for an hour, and after work, I'll pack a gym bag again and go do my after work training. So I started lifting weights, powerlifting, and dirty bulking, and I got real big. In fact, I got so big, so fast that my chain of command was thinking that I was on some type of steroids or whatever back then. It's crazy how, there was no social media or anything like that. So a lot of those guys, those older guys, they probably wasn't aware on the supplementations and the amount of calories that you eat in conjunction of the amount of weights that you lift. You can actually naturally get big. Everything does not have to be steroids or performance enhancing drugs. But so I did that. I was eating a lot of calories. I hopped on Celtec creatine back then at the time. That helped put on the size and the strength. Guys, I was still a teenager bench pressing 400 pounds, doing a lot of that. So the fitness soldier, the calisthenics piece, by this point, fast forward a few years, I was stationed at Fort Stewart, 3rd Infantry Division, the Rock of the Marne, 1st Brigade, 11th Engineer Battalion. We was tasked to invade into Iraq early 2003, and we did that. And I remember after our campaign, we hit Baghdad hard, because our whole thing was to follow Baghdad, take Saddam regime out, take his Fedayeen soldiers, take everybody out, and then we do a regime change. So that's what we did. But while we was over there as young soldiers at that time, it's like being in the big leagues. It's like being in a Super Bowl or playoffs, championship. And we was basically doing a lot of calisthenics. We still wanted to maintain that brute force, that physical fitness, that active army soldier type of persona back then. So we was lifting axles, front end axles on trucks, that blown up pieces of equipment we find, with the rims and everything. We'll put the rims on there to serve as the weights, and we'll lift the axle. It was dumbbell curling those. We were doing burpees, anything that we could find to do, tricep extension, tricep dips, push-ups, all of those calisthenics. And I remember during that tour, I got ripped. Like when I came back, I was even more shredded. So I was like, man, like this right here, just doing that type of PT during that time, and I was so young at the time. I just had a body of a specimen. So that's where the fitness soldier comes from. Me being in the civilian world now, I always maintain a level of training as though I'm still in the army. I pride myself on that. But the fitness soldier concept comes from the warrior mindset that I've established while I was a soldier in the U.S. Army, because it's all about mindset. And what I realized that's so important is that you imagine things before it exists in the physical form. So if you imagine that you won't go very far, then you won't go very far in the physical form. And the same is true if you have that vision for yourself. A lot of people are self-driven. Other people have to be inspired or motivated. It doesn't matter which one it is, as long as you just get moving for the better and become contagious. I always say that, become contagious positively throughout people in your circle of control or your circle of concern, and then allow yourself to become a force multiplier. For me personally, I went through some trials and tribulations with alcohol. I didn't want to be a statistic on the addiction. I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit smoking those things back in 2009. I went through some stuff with alcohol, bad experiences. But I realized that exercise for me is always the common denominator to uplift my spirit and my mood. So I no longer drink, and I use fitness and health as something that replaced the depressed nature in which I was, or that feeling of thinking that I needed to go to the liquor store whenever things got rough. Life is like a battlefield with landmines. They're just ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But what are you going to do about it to leverage your mindset? So that's where the warrior spirit comes from. I can go on and on about that. That's a little bit about me, the fitness soldier. My whole thing is about calisthenics and bodyweight movement, because COVID-19 crisis, especially during the summer months, me being a former soldier, I don't feel like I necessarily need the gym per se. Now, do I own weights at home? Yes, I do have weights. I have dumbbells, barbells, bench press, name it. Those for some of the clients that need that central nervous system shot. Sometimes you want to kind of throw some little dumbbells in there to kind of break the monotony, to enhance your growth, if you so choose to grow into a certain type of body type that requires you to put a little bit more heavy weight other than your body weight. So that's what I'm about. The fitness soldier is all about the warrior mindset. On my channel, these videos, you're going to notice that the theme of a lot of my videos is going to be about overcoming adversity, and overcoming adversity through fitness, getting our bodies to be in a position to where we look good. And when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you become positive. And when you become positive, you become contagious to other people that may need to kind of be inspired by some of the energy that you're putting out. I'm all about energy. I'm all about positivity. Does the fitness soldier have bad days sometimes? Of Of course, I'm only human. What I want to do is be transparent with you guys and let you guys know the background on where I come from as a former soldier and as the fitness soldier, bringing calisthenics, diet, resiliency, mental toughness, nutrition, you name it, to you guys. What can we do to enhance our mind, body, and our spirit without always necessarily come up with an excuse? Man, I can't get to the gym, or I can't afford to sustain a gym membership throughout 12 months out of the year, or I don't have time. It's always time to do some bodyweight movements. Every little bit counts. Every little bit is an investment to your greater potential. So guys, that's it. Like I said, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification, so that way you can be the first one to get that alert when I drop that new heat, because I'll be dropping that new heat. And with that, you guys please share this video. Thanks for your support. Till next time, you guys stay focused, stay disciplined, and I will see you